And the former MVP, Christian Yelich, joins us now on 30 Clubs in 30 Days, presented by Camping World. Okay, Christian, I know you're sick and tired of talking about last year and the batting average barely over 200. But if you had to sum it up, before we move on to 2021, how would you sum up that weird pandemic-shortened season?
I knew that was going to come up today. I mean, it is what it is, you know. You can't really change it. It was a weird year. Obviously, didn't play at the level I would have liked. You know, and I'm looking forward to 2021. You know, it's 60 games, and a bad 60 games at that for me. But I think I'm still capable of playing how I did my previous 2 years with the Brewers. Looking forward to going out there and doing just that.
Christian, I'm always intrigued with players as they get up there in their years, what they try to get out of spring training. Like, you can do different things. You know you're going to be in there for 150 to 160 games. What are you trying to do this spring training that might be a little bit different than the previous?
Yeah, I think you just understand what it takes to get ready. Like, you know how it is. Your first couple, you're just trying to feel your way through it, and you know, you hit the panic button from day one if you're not feeling good, and you're just trying to play as well as you can. And then as you get older and you've done more of these, you just understand it's a process, and you're just building towards opening day. You want your body to feel good. You're just looking for certain keys throughout camp.
Where do you stand on batting average? As a guy that won back-to-back batting titles, some players I've talked to during 30-30 are like, batting average is an overrated stat. Does it matter to you what your average is when you walk up to the plate?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the end-all, be-all of, you know, evaluating a hitter. But I think in order to hit for a high batting average, you have to have some talent as a hitter. You know, I think people think there's an aspect of luck to it, which there is to some extent. But, you know, to be one of those guys that leads the league or is up in the top 4 or 5, you have to be able to hit. You have to have this natural hit tool. And the name of the game is getting on base. And if you have a high batting, chances are you get on base. So it still matters to me. It's not how I evaluate my season by any means, but you know, I still take pride in it.
The other thing I'm often interested in is you play in Arizona, and then you're going to go back to Milwaukee, which beautiful dome guarantees you're going to play, right, because of weather. But how different is it in Arizona? The break from spring training to the regular season, because the way the pitches react, it's dry, some of those things. What's the major difference that you have to make an adjustment when you start the season?
I mean, just how cold it is. You know, we got a couple games in Milwaukee to start the year, which, like you said, we got the dome, so we should be all right there. But then, you know, you go to Chicago, St. Louis. It's going to be a little bit colder there than Arizona. But, you know, we're kind of used to it. We've done it in the past, and you just kind of understand and expect that's how the first month of the year is going to be. And you just adapt. But I think that's the biggest difference, just the weather earlier in the year.
The winter was weird for the NL Central. We were sitting back going, wait a minute, do any of these front offices want to win the division? No one was making any moves. And then there was a flurry of moves, including Nolan Arenado to play third base in your division for the Cardinals. You guys go bring in Jackie Bradley Jr. and Colton Wong. And where do you think the Brewers fit in this competitive NL Central?
You know, it's been one of those divisions that's been decided by, I don't know, I think a game or two the last 3-4 years. So, I mean, I anticipate it kind of being similar this year. It's a bunch of teams that are you know, a bunch toward the top up there. And obviously it's going to come down to health and playing well, and it just makes those head-to-head matchups in the division that much more important. You know, the Cardinals, Cubs, Reds, ourselves, we're all fairly talented teams. And, you know, Pittsburgh kind of flies under the radar, but they had some arms last year, good young arms that, you know, you can't really overlook them going into a series either. So it's tightly bunched, and I anticipate it coming down to the last couple of weeks at the end of the season.
So at the end, before we let you go, Christian, and we appreciate your time, at the end of the year, Christian Yelich's personal goals for the 2021 season are what?
I mean, I want to just be available for all the games, stay healthy, and I think you do that, like all your other personal goals are going to take care of themselves, or you're just available. I think when you run into trouble during years, when you get hurt, trying to do that rehab, you come back, you're thrown in the middle of it, things kind of get off the skids a little bit. But for me, my personal goal every year is to stay healthy, be available for every game. I usually feel if that happens, then everything will take care of itself. You'll be where you want to be personally at the end of the year.
You are one of a handful of players in the sport that can carry a team on their back. That's how talented you are. We appreciate your time. Go UCLA. Sorry, John. And have a great 2021, okay?
You got it, guys. Good talking to you.